Hi, I'm Megan and welcome to my kitchen. Today I have 4 delicious drink recipes for you. With spring shortly around the corner, we've got Easter, Mother's Day, and then of course summer with the cookouts and all of its holidays. These drink recipes are quick and easy to make, and you and your guests will love them. So let's get into these recipes. First up, we're making Copycat Sonic Cherry Limeades. I love getting these at Sonic. They're so easy to make yourself. All you need is some lemon lime soda. I'm using Sprite. You could also use 7-Up. We need some maraschino cherries. Now, I'll link the recipe that I kind of loosely follow in the description box below. That recipe calls for you to use the cherry juice, which you totally can, but I prefer to use some grenadine. And then, of course, you'll need some limes for your limeade. All right, making these is super easy. To the bottom of a glass, we're going to add a couple of cherries. Next, I'm going to take a lime quarter and squeeze it into the bottom of the glass, and then I'm just going to drop the lime in there. Next, we're going to add some ice. You can use as much or as little as you'd like. And then we're going to add some lemon lime soda. Finally, we're adding a little bit of grenadine. Like I said, you can also just use cherry juice if you prefer. We're going to give it a stir, and then that's it. That's all we need. Like I said, super, super easy. And you really could make a whole batch of these, or you could just set everything out, like if you're having a cookout or get together, and let the guests make their own limeades. They're so easy. All right, to garnish it, I just added an extra cherry and an extra lime wedge, and that's it. Next up, I tried a new recipe for a Brazilian lemonade. My husband and I went with my mom and dad to one of those Brazilian steakhouse restaurants a few years ago, and we had the Brazilian lemonade there, and it was delicious. And I've had a recipe pinned for years, well, ever since we went then, and I just hadn't gotten around to making it. But when I thought of making, a video of drinks, I was like, I really want to try that Brazilian lemonade recipe. So here are the ingredients that you'll need. We need some limes, cold water, sweetened condensed milk, and then we also need some ice. That's not pictured. So to get started, we're going to wash the limes really well. We're going to peel them and remove the piths, and then cut them into quarters. Next, we're going to combine the limes and the water in a blender. We're going to pulse that for a few seconds. Next, we're going to strain that through a mesh strainer, and you want to use a fine mesh strainer. And then we're going to return the lime and water mixture back to the blender. Next, we're going to add the sweetened condensed milk and blend. Add the ice and blend, and then that's it. To serve this up, I'm just going to pour this into a glass and serve it with a lime wedge. This was delicious. This was so good. I'll definitely be making this again. Next up, I'm making what I call Easy Punch. I don't really know that this recipe has a name, none that I'm aware of, but I got it from a friend of ours. So back when my husband and I first got married, there's a couple that we went to church with and had kind of become friends with, and the husband was graduating from college, and so his wife threw him like a graduation party, and she made this punch. It's just 2 ingredients. It's so ridiculously easy, but it's delicious and it's a crowd pleaser. So let me show you what you'll need. Again, just 2 ingredients. And here's what you'll need. So first, we've got a 2 liter of ginger ale, and then we've got a container of lemonade. Now, I like to use the Raspberry Simply lemonade. That's what my friend used, but I'm sure you could use any kind of lemonade. Simply lemonade usually has a blueberry flavored or strawberry flavored, and I think that would be delicious and perfect for the spring or summertime as well. Now, you want to make sure that the ginger ale and lemonade are really cold, and all you do is just mix the 2 together. Now, if you're making this for a get-together or for your family, I'd suggest doing the full 2 liter of ginger ale as well as the full container of lemonade, but I was just making it for my husband and I for a couple days, so I did a much smaller batch. But you just combine the 2, give it a stir, and then that's it. You can put it in your punch bowl or in a pitcher or in one of those, I can't think of the name to save my life, but it's basically like a big round container. It has a little spigot on it. Now to serve this up, I've just added it to a glass with some ice and dropped a couple raspberries in there to garnish. You totally don't have to add the raspberries, but just makes it a little pretty. This is so yummy, and like I said, it's just so refreshing. And if you don't want to use ginger ale, I'm sure you could use Sprite. You could also use just sparkling water. That would work well in this recipe as well. Next up, I'm making pina coladas. My husband and I love, love, love pina coladas. I've made this recipe for years. It's so incredibly easy. Let me show you how to make it. Quick note, my husband and I just personally aren't alcohol drinkers, but if you are, you could totally add some rum to this. All you need basically are 2 ingredients. You need pineapple juice and cream of coconut. You also need ice, which isn't pictured here. And then, of course, if you're using the rum, you'll want to have that. Now, if you're also not an alcohol drinker, you can just use these 2 ingredients plus ice, of course. And it turns out delicious, but they do make non-alcoholic rum. My husband and I have some of that, and we've tried it in an eggnog and pina coladas, and it's actually really good, and it surprisingly does taste like rum. So I'll show you a picture of that in just a second, but let me show you how to make these. They're so quick and easy. To my blender, I'm adding in my pineapple juice, and I don't know if you've noticed it yet or not, but I don't have the blade in there. Don't be like me. Make sure your blade is in there. It's a pain in the neck to try to get it in there once you've added everything. I speak from personal experience. Next, I'm adding the cream of coconut. I don't remember if I said this or not. If not, make sure you shake up that cream of coconut really, really well. Then I'm adding the ice. I'm going to place the lid on this and then just blend it until it's smooth. Give it a check, and if you feel like it needs to be thicker or more slushy-like, add a little more ice and then blend it. To serve this up, I'm just going to pour it into the glass, and I'm topping it with a maraschino cherry and a wedge of pineapple. You don't have to do that at all. Just makes a pretty garnish, and it gives you a little something to snack on while you're enjoying your pina colada. All this needs is a bendy straw and an umbrella, and I can close my eyes and dream that I'm on a beach listening to the waves. I love pina coladas. They're so good. Now, here's that picture of the non-alcoholic rum that I was telling you about. We just got this at a liquor store here in Nashville. There are some liquor stores that will have like non-alcoholic sections where you can get non-alcoholic beer, wine, Prosecco, other liqueurs. So if you're not an alcohol drinker either, check around at your local liquor stores and you can still find some of those drinks, but like I said, without the alcohol. So, all right, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button below and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Have a great rest of the day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.